Could you possibly imagine getting games like Mega Man, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Contra, DuckTales 2, Panic Restaurant for $5? There was a time when this existed. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. What do you do, my YouTube viewers? Retro Pro Frank with another installment. First and foremost, Christmas is about a week away. I want to wish you and everyone in your family a Merry Christmas to all my subscribers. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in right now with me. I really appreciate it that all my subscribers, everyone have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now let's get that out of the way. Okay, that's enough of that. What I'm here talking about today is collecting 1998 and collecting nowadays in 2015. The pros and cons of this, okay? 1998 was a great year for collecting in the flea markets and the value villages, all that kind of stuff. It was just great. Deals were to be had. I remember going into the Barton Street flea market there on Barton Street in Hamilton, Ontario, and picking up games for $5. That was the set price back then. $5 an NES game, an SNES game, a Sega Genesis game, you know, and I pulled at least maybe 200 or 300 into my collection before the price went up. And I'm talking about mid-level games here, $40, $50, $60 games. I put a lot of those into my collection and marked those off the list a long time ago, back in 1998. I was lucky. Okay, I had it in my mind. I remember my friends used to hang me. What are you doing collecting that? You should be playing PS2. Never mind NES. PS2's where it's at, you know. No, I like the old stuff, you know what I mean? So I collected it, you know what I mean? But I was buying games like Contra, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Mega Man's, Ninja Gaidens, all the Double Dragons, all off my list for $5 a game. Some of the vendors over there, you know, you would talk to them, you say, listen, I want 3 of these games. You do 3 for 10? Yeah, no problem, 3 for 10. Because everybody had a box. Every vendor in there had a box about this big, full of at least 50 or 60 games. Unbelievable. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I'm going to bring you guys way back. Okay, 1998. Me and my friend Carmelo Loricello, okay, he's another collector here in Hamilton, Ontario. He found 2 games. We both went into the flea market together. He's been a lifelong friend, okay? So we both went into the flea market together looking for NES games, right? So we walk into the flea market. Not even 5 minutes later, he's like, Frank, take a look at this. I go, what's that? I go, what did you pay for those? Where'd you find those? He goes, oh, they're over there. I paid $10 each. This guy's got a Zelda and a Link CIB mint. He paid $10 each Canadian. $10! Anyway. So, like, this blows my mind, okay? I still, to this day, I still tell him about that score that he got. Now, I pulled a couple good rares out of there, too. I pulled, like, Casino Kid 2, that's going for average around $70 nowadays, and a bunch of other ones I can't remember, okay? So, 1998 for collecting was great, okay? Every vendor had great quality games for cheap. You wouldn't be paying more than $5 to $7 Canadian for a game. You bundle a bunch up, you get a great price, okay? Now, 2015. Let's rewind. 1998 was great, okay? A couple years after that, the internet started getting more and more popular, and the internet killed it. Okay, this is my personal opinion. Not resellers, okay? Not people, you know, marking up prices, not eBay, none of that shit. Everything goes back to the internet. Once the internet was out and everyone was on it and get to look up the value, people didn't know the value of these back in the day. They didn't think that they were worth nothing. They thought at $5 they were making money, you know what I mean? They never seen that this was coming, you know? They never seen the prices go up. They never foreseen it. So, you used to get the games for $5. Definite advantage. I must have knocked off 200 or 300 that's in this collection from that flea market, the Barton Street Flea Market. Actually, I was there this morning and actually took some footage. Why don't you guys have a look? See what I mean, guys? You know what? There is still some games there, and it's a good place. My friend Richard there, if you guys ever go down there to the Barton Street flea market there on Barton Street in Hamilton, Ontario, tell Richard Frankie, Retro Pro Frank sent you down there, okay? So when you walk in, he's the first guy on the right. He's got a lot of games there still. The selection isn't what it used to be there. I remember walking in there, and there was an abundance of NES games like you wouldn't believe, man. This was heaven. Like, I wish I had footage to show you guys of this back in the day. Fortunately, I don't. But I remember going there every Saturday and leaving with like 5-10 games, maybe 20-30 bucks I'd spend, and it would be like a whole Saturday and a Sunday of playing these games, reliving some of my childhood memories, okay? So that's 1998. The advantages of collecting in 2015 are that people know exactly what the hell is going on nowadays. We know what games have sold for, we know what games are priced at, we know the story behind them, like LJN, and the story behind NWC and Action 52 and all that kind of stuff. We didn't know that back then. We couldn't foresee it, you know, nobody could. Unless you could tell the future, you know, you can't see it. This actually brings me back to, I'm going to talk about this for a second here too, a little bit of a conversation here too. Action 52. Action 52, right? Okay, terrible game. This was bought off the shopping network. Back in the day, in the box, everything. I think for $70. Nowadays it sells for $200-300 bucks and it's garbage shit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. 2015 collecting. But we know the story behind this now. We know about Cheetah Man and how this was in a limited run and these were only sold in certain places. Okay, I'll get more into depth of this. This is not a review of this game at all or anything like that. I have something planned for that, but that's just an example of the way the prices have went up and through the roofs because of the internet. We're more educated now. We're linked, you know, like if we want to find something out, we go on price charting or, you know, we can find out the rarity levels of games in general, you know what I mean? And that's what these vendors are doing as well when they come across this stuff. Back then, they were just guessing. Okay, I paid 20 bucks for the box. There's 40 games in there. I charge 5 bucks each. I make money. Oh, right? No. Nowadays, they're pricing these games individually. Okay, it's a lot harder to build a nice collection. Okay, it's just hard. It costs you a lot of money. The games are hard to find. Okay, but basically, the reason why I think the prices went up was because of eBay, the internet. Okay, it's not because of resellers and locally. You know, maybe online, yeah, but you know, the reason why the prices went up is because of the internet. We weren't aware of all this stuff, okay? We didn't know the history back then. It's either it was a good game or it wasn't, or you remember playing it or you didn't. and you would play the game. You know, you buy the game, you play the game, you get it for $5, woohoo, put it away, you know, and I don't know. Basically, you know, now and then is a big difference, okay? So my friend pulls those two games, Zelda and Link, $10 each. Now these games going in rough condition, CIB with the maps and all that, rough condition like $60 a piece. Good condition, $120. You know what I mean? Now I was lucky enough to bang 200 or 300 of the mid-level games off, the $40, $50 games off for $5 a piece back then. For somebody just starting out right now, I feel sorry for you, to be honest. Okay? You gotta have a lot of money. You know, you're gonna have a lot of time and a lot of money invested into it. You know? Do you really want to go through with a complete collection? Me, I got no choice. I'm so close. I'm about 30, 40 away that, you know, I have to. Okay? But yeah, collecting 1998 compared to today, big difference. The advantages of today is that we actually know what we're talking about and the history behind the games. The advantages of 1998 back in the day when the games were cheap were exactly that, was that they were cheap, but nobody knew. You know how many times I think to myself that I've been looking through a box when I was younger and I picked out, you know, the Ninja Gaiden, the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but what about the other games like Bubble Bobble 2? Or, you know, Box Adventure? Have I flipped through that before and I missed it because I didn't know back then? You know what I mean? See, nowadays we're more educated on this kind of stuff. Before we weren't. So that could be another reason why too. We know how many copies were made now in 2015. We know the whole story behind it. I could pick up a game and tell you the history behind it. Back then I would just say, yeah, it's a good game. You know what I mean? Now I can tell you when it was made, and if I don't know, I can look it up. You know what I mean? That's the advantage of the internet too. 2015 collecting is very different from collecting back in 1998. For the young people out there who are starting to get into collecting for the NES system, I actually feel really bad for you guys. Okay, some of the games, the prices are ridiculous. Okay, like Ninja Gaiden 3, people want $60 for that game. Well, it's decent, but it's not great. You know, I remember paying $5 or $10 for that game back in the day. You know, I would never pay $60 for that game. You know, for example, here's a game that really boggles my mind. Back in the day, you would find Super Mario Bros. 1 and Super Mario Bros. 3 everywhere, okay? I'm talking $5, maybe for Super Mario Bros. 3 it was $10, maybe, because that was a hype game, you know what I mean? It was a big game, you know? So you walk into, like, you know, a flea market, you'd see Mario 3 just chilling there in the cabinet, you'd be like, how much? And it'd be like $10, and that was alright. Nowadays it sells for 20 plus tax, maybe more, who knows? You know, but what really gets me too now and then are the prices of some games. For example, Super Mario Bros. 2. That game was hard to find 20 years ago. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. You might have went to, I don't know if they had even retro stores back then, but you had to go to flea markets, Salvation Armies, all that kind of stuff. You know, that game, Super Mario Bros. 2, was really hard to find back in the day. And they wanted $15 for it back in the day. And today you can pick it up for $20, $25. My personal opinion, I think that game should be closer to $40 Canadian. It was a hard game to find 20 years ago. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Collecting 1998. Salvation Army. What else was there? The Amity. Value Village. The games, they were at a great price. Reasonable price. $1, $2. Excellent. Game Collecting 2015. For those three stores, okay. I was on eBay the other day, going online, checking out some stuff, some low bids, putting some bids just to keep the bids honest, you know what I mean? And I click on the seller, right, to view the seller, and it says the Salvation Army. The games they're getting aren't even making it to the shelves. They're taking the games that they receive and they're putting them right online because they know they're going to maximize profits. Just like Value Village. Value Village, they state that they leave their games out for 24 hours before an employee member can buy it. But I know a guy, his sister-in-law, works there, and when Nintendo stuff comes in, she's calling him on the phone, telling him, okay, yeah, we got the games, yeah, we got a system too. Yeah, it's in the shoe aisle. That's the Contra in there. Go look in there. Don't worry, it's got the price tag. Go grab it quick before somebody finds it. That's bullshit, man. Give everyone a fair shot at this kind of stuff, okay? Not like they price them any lower, because they don't. I'm seeing, 64. I wasn't much into N64, but N64, I'm seeing that they have a copy of Mario Party. They wanted $65. Are you serious? You guys are getting this stuff for free. Mind you, This stuff is, you know, it's going to charity, maybe 5%. But, you know, this is getting ridiculous. Back then, prices were a little easy, but we didn't know. You know, maybe we knew a little bit, but we didn't know exactly what games were going to shoot up in value before the internet. I had a pager. I had a pager back in the day. I remember having a pager. That's like, you know what I mean? That's like we're talking about pre-internet days. There was no internet. In my opinion, 1998 versus 2015 for collecting. Obviously 1998 was better, but you didn't know what to collect. Nowadays you know what to collect, but it comes with a big price tag. Anyway, guys, let me know. Let me know if you guys found any good rare finds for cheap lately. You know, I'm not saying that you won't be able to. You still will be able to, but they're getting a lot harder to find, you know. Garage sales, for example, too much competition. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I gotta say. There's so many people chasing all the same nickel. It's retarded out there. And it's taken away the fun of what these are meant to be. These are meant to be fun, okay? So, collecting in 2015 is a lot better for the reason that we know a lot about the history of the games and how it's manufactured and what happened to the manufacturer, if they died out, if they're still going around. But the prices are ridiculously high. Collecting back then, we didn't really know. We knew the good games, but we didn't really know the valuable games, the blockbuster exclusives. We didn't know that. You know, maybe the one or two guys, the real hardcore guys, didn't know that, but the average guy just bought the games that they liked. Anyway, if you guys found any rare finds lately, do me a favor, leave some comments in the comment section below, okay? I always answer the comments. If you guys have any questions or comments, I always make a comment myself on that. I get alerted right away, and I'm really good with that. I like to keep a good friendship between me and my subscribers, okay, guys? And when it comes to subscribers, please, guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to hit about 500 subscribers. I can use all the help I can get right now, guys, okay? I'm going to be doing a giveaway as well. I got some cool stuff to give away, okay? So keep your eyes open. If you guys subscribe to my channel, you'll be alerted with all my new uploads. And the giveaway video will be coming out shortly. So I don't want you guys to miss it, so subscribe to my channel. Hit like, comment, subscribe, okay, guys? So this is Retro Pro Frank talking about collecting 1998 to 2015. This is done. If you guys have anything you want to add it to the bottom. My personal opinion, the internet killed it. Anyway, Retro Pro Frank, I'm out. Guys, thanks for watching the video. If you guys like this video, go ahead and press the like button below. And you guys can leave some comments below in the comment section of the video. Please share this video on Facebook pages to your friends and family. As well as if you guys like this video, please subscribe. This is Retro Pro Frank. Thanks for watching. I'm out.